Have you ever looked at your dreams and felt them slipping away just because you were waiting for the perfect time, waiting for motivation, waiting for someone else to push you? That waiting is the thief of your destiny. The time to act is not tomorrow, not next week, not when the stars align. It is now. Every moment you waste in hesitation, every excuse you tell yourself is a moment that your future self will mourn. Your dreams are calling and they demand action. Will you answer, or will you let laziness steal what belongs to you? Life doesn't wait. Opportunities never pause, and success doesn't knock on your door twice. Every day is a chance to rise above your excuses, to push past the comfort of procrastination, to fight the laziness that keeps you from becoming who you are meant to be. I'm here to tell you that there is no perfect moment to start. There is only the now. When you stop waiting and start doing, you set in motion a force within you that cannot be stopped. Laziness is a silent enemy, but action is your greatest weapon. And today, we will learn not only how to fight it, but how to conquer it once and for all. Recognize your laziness before it controls you. Laziness is not just a habit. It is a quiet storm that creeps into your life, stealing time, energy, and opportunity without you even noticing. Every moment you scroll endlessly, postpone tasks, or tell yourself, I'll start later, is a moment surrendered to inactivity. Recognizing this is the first act of courage because awareness is the beginning of transformation. It is not shameful to see yourself slipping. It is brave to admit that you are capable of more, that you deserve more, and that your life's potential is being diminished by the choices you make when you choose ease over effort. The first step is simple yet profound. Look honestly at your daily routine and identify where laziness has taken root, and then acknowledge it as an obstacle you have the power to overcome. Once you see laziness clearly, you begin to understand the patterns it thrives on, the excuses, the distractions, the endless justifications that keep you from stepping into your greatness. Laziness is cunning. It will dress itself as comfort, leisure, or self-care, but deep inside, you know it is a thief. Recognizing it is not self-criticism, it is clarity, and clarity is empowering. With each recognition comes responsibility. Responsibility to yourself, to your dreams, and to the life you are capable of creating. Awareness shifts your perspective. It is no longer a vague feeling that I should do more. It becomes a call to action, a personal challenge to reclaim the time, energy, and focus that have been quietly taken from you. Awareness alone is not enough if it does not lead to action. Once you acknowledge the grip of laziness, you must challenge yourself daily. Notice the small moments of surrender, the extra minutes in bed, the skipped workout, the delayed phone call, and confront them with determination. Recognize that these small moments accumulate, and each choice to act instead of remain idle builds a life of discipline, purpose, and momentum. Laziness loses power when you refuse to ignore it. Each day you identify and confront it, you strengthen your ability to choose action over inertia, courage over comfort, and growth over stagnation. This recognition is not a one-time realization, it is a lifestyle shift. It is a daily decision to observe your habits with honesty, to reflect without judgment, and to take immediate action when you see yourself drifting toward passivity. By consistently recognizing and confronting your laziness, you are building an unshakable foundation for a life of productivity, achievement, and self-respect. Every small victory over the urge to delay creates a ripple that extends into every aspect of your life, preparing you for the challenges ahead and setting the stage for extraordinary growth. Replace excuses. With action, excuses are the comfort blankets that keep laziness alive. They are words, but they have power. The power to immobilize, to paralyze, to convince you that your goals can wait. Each time you say, I'll start tomorrow, or I'm too tired, you are surrendering a part of yourself to inactivity. Action is the antidote. It requires courage, because the moment you step forward, despite fear, fatigue, or uncertainty, you reclaim control over your life. The habit of replacing excuses with action is not formed overnight. It is forged in the fires of consistent, deliberate effort. Every task you complete, no matter how small, is a victory over inertia and a demonstration that you are capable of doing more than you once believed. Action is the bridge between your current reality and your dreams. Waiting for motivation is a trap because motivation is fleeting, unpredictable, and unreliable. Action, however, is consistent and transformative. You do not need to feel ready to take the first step. You simply need to move. Even the tiniest step forward, sending that email, writing that paragraph, making that call, is a signal to your mind and body that laziness has no dominion here. Momentum is built not in grand gestures, but in small, relentless efforts that accumulate until they are unstoppable. Replace each excuse with a deliberate step and watch how life begins to respond to your courage. Every time you act in place of excusing yourself, you rewire your mind. Your brain begins to associate effort with reward, not struggle. Your self-respect grows because you prove to yourself, day after day, that you are not a victim of circumstances, but an architect of your own life. Excuses lose their power when confronted by repeated action. What once seemed impossible or overwhelming becomes manageable when broken into small steps of consistent effort. Replace excuses with tangible progress, and you will realize that the life you imagined is within reach, not because you waited for the perfect time, but because you refused to delay. The habit of action over excuses creates a self-sustaining cycle of productivity and growth. Every time you succeed in choosing action, your confidence grows, and every act of courage becomes a blueprint for your next challenge. You no longer rely on fleeting motivation because you have cultivated a lifestyle of execution. Laziness retreats because you have armed yourself with the most powerful tool, the unwavering decision to act, regardless of circumstance, regardless of feeling, and regardless of fear. Embrace discomfort as the path to growth. Discomfort is the forge where greatness is shaped. Laziness seeks comfort, safety, and predictability. But growth cannot exist in a cage. The moment you choose the easy path, you sacrifice the extraordinary life that lies on the other side of challenge. Every time you push yourself beyond fatigue, fear, or uncertainty, you train your mind and body to resist, surrender, and embrace resilience. Discomfort is not an enemy. It is a messenger telling you that you are stretching, evolving, and moving closer to your full potential. It is the proof that you are alive and striving towards something greater than yourself. When you embrace discomfort, you build endurance, not just physical endurance, but emotional and mental strength. Laziness thrives on avoidance. Growth thrives on persistence. It is uncomfortable to confront your weaknesses, to endure criticism, or to work long hours while others rest. But this discomfort is the price of progress. Each challenge you face, each moment you persist despite resistance, expands your capacity for success. You learn that fear is temporary, that pain is a signal, not a stop sign, and that action, even when difficult, produces results that laziness could never provide. Discomfort also cultivates courage. Every time you confront the urge to retreat into ease, you prove to yourself that you can withstand difficulty. The more you endure, the more resilient you become. Discomfort becomes familiar, not as suffering, but as a companion guiding you toward your goals. Laziness may whisper that the struggle is too great, that rest is preferable, but each step you take despite that voice reinforces your ability to persevere, to endure, and to achieve. Growth is never comfortable, and those who achieve greatness do not wait for comfort. They create their path through discomfort. Finally, embracing discomfort transforms your mindset. You begin to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Laziness fades because it cannot survive where courage and determination thrive. Each moment of struggle is proof of your capacity to overcome. And every act of persistence becomes a reminder that you are stronger than your excuses. The discomfort that once scared you becomes a symbol of progress, a marker of resilience, and a signal that you are moving closer to your dreams. Set clear goals and deadlines. Vagueness is the soil where laziness grows. Without clarity, you drift, waiting for life to give you direction. Without deadlines, you stall, and time slips away unnoticed. Setting clear goals and deadlines is the framework that transforms intention into action. When you know exactly what you want and by when you want it, every choice you make is guided by purpose. Clarity is power because it eliminates confusion, hesitation, and excuses. A goal without a deadline is a dream deferred. A goal with a plan and a timeline becomes a reality in motion. Breaking your dreams into actionable steps is essential. Large goals can overwhelm, paralyzing even the most ambitious hearts. But when you divide them into small, achievable milestones, progress becomes visible, measurable, and motivating. Each completed step builds momentum, confidence, and proof that you are capable. Deadlines are not constraints. They are commitments to yourself, markers of accountability, and instruments of focus that prevent laziness from creeping in. When you set goals and deadlines, you create a roadmap that turns vision into action and ideas into tangible results. Clarity also fosters discipline. Daily decisions become aligned with your objectives, and every action is intentional rather than reactive. Laziness is disarmed because your mind is occupied with direction, purpose, and strategy. With a clear plan, you are not wandering aimlessly. You are moving forward with precision and determination. Each milestone achieved reinforces belief in your ability to accomplish more than you imagined, and the structure of deadlines instills a rhythm that transforms effort into habit and habit into achievement. Finally, visible goals and deadlines sustain motivation. When you can see your progress, celebrate small victories, and adjust your approach as needed, you are empowered to continue. Laziness cannot thrive in an environment of structure, clarity, and accountability. The path forward becomes clear and momentum becomes unstoppable. You move with purpose, confidence, and conviction because you know exactly where you are going, what you need to do, and by when it must be done. Each day becomes an opportunity to prove to yourself that action, consistency, and clarity triumph over inaction and delay. Celebrate every victory, no matter how small progress is not always monumental. Sometimes it is a single step forward, a small task completed, or a tiny decision made to act instead of procrastinate. Celebrating these victories is essential because they reinforce the habit of courage, action, and resilience. Laziness feeds on doubt, convincing you that your efforts are insignificant, but every act of achievement, no matter how small, is a building block for your confidence and momentum. Each victory affirms your capability and strengthens your resolve to keep moving forward. Acknowledgement of progress shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you celebrate small wins, you train your mind to notice growth, not failure. You begin to see effort as valuable and action as rewarding. Laziness loses its grip when it becomes clear that even incremental steps contribute to your long-term goals. Each small success is proof that you are moving in the right direction, that your choices matter, and that your future is being shaped by your deliberate actions today. Celebration also fuels momentum. Success breeds motivation, not only for the immediate task, but for the next challenge. When you pause to recognize what you have accomplished, you generate energy, confidence, and determination to continue. Laziness cannot compete with the satisfaction and pride that comes from visible progress. Each acknowledged victory, no matter how minor, becomes a reminder that you are capable of doing more, that your effort is meaningful, and that every choice to act builds a foundation for bigger achievements. Finally, celebrating small wins cultivates a mindset of gratitude and resilience. You recognize the value of your effort, appreciate the journey, and reinforce the belief that consistent action produces results. Laziness retreats because the mind and heart are now aligned with purpose, acknowledgement, and progress. Every small victory becomes both a shield against inaction and a beacon guiding you toward the extraordinary life you are capable of achieving. The habit of celebration turns effort into habit, habit into identity, and identity into unstoppable momentum. In the end, laziness has no power over the one who chooses action. Every excuse you resist, every small step you take, and every moment you push past comfort is a victory over inertia. Life does not reward hesitation. It responds to courage, effort, and consistency. The time to act is not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when circumstances are perfect. It is now. Your dreams are not waiting for your permission, and neither should you wait to honor your potential. Every second spent in hesitation is a second lost forever, and the only way to claim what is yours is through deliberate, fearless action. Step forward with determination. Embrace discomfort, set your goals with clarity, and celebrate every victory along the way. Momentum is built not in leaps, but in relentless, consistent steps that defy laziness and doubt. Today is the day to decide that you will no longer postpone your life, that you will no longer settle for less than your potential, and that you will rise to the challenges that define your future. The time to act is now, and the life you have always dreamed of begins the moment you refuse to wait any longer.